Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 bot AI cast. We have got ourselves what should be a good one here today, as it's a bit of an under-featured bot. It's Apidae, a Protoss bot, taking on another Protoss bot, so a bit of a rare PvP matchup, since Protoss seems to be the less common of the races amongst the bots. It's Deimos, and so a PvP, but more importantly, a bot versus bot match. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoy these matches, go ahead, click that like button. We have a forge on the way, which takes 32 seconds to build, so if we could hit 32 likes on this video, that would be amazing as the potential cannon rush starts. And leave a comment down below saying more bots if you want to see more cannon rushes. But man, oh man, Deimos seems to be shutting this one down hard with the early probe pull. A second probe is moving across the map for Apidae, but let me tell you, I don't think you become one of the top bots without being able to defend a cannon rush fairly successfully. And the approach is to target down the worker that's supposed to build the pylons. And that's exactly what happens. So Apidae's cheese fails. Deimos has got one probe that's, maybe it's actually attacking and it's just animation, it's just bugged, but anyway. So after that brief moment of chaos, the fear of the potential cannon rush, Apidae is forced into a macro game against Deimos, although it is sending out another probe. You're not going to try this again, are you, Apidae? That just doesn't work. Cannon rushes are probably the build in the game that if it doesn't work the first time, it's not going to work the second time unless your opponent decided to take a nap in the middle of the match. And I don't think Deimos is sleeping right now, as we've got double adepts on the way. A double adept opening is a very strong build. Apidae does have that probe moving on into the main base. Going to be scouting out a little bit. I am quite concerned for the Protoss bot, though, as it's only got one Zealot on the way. No Cyber Core started yet, and if these Adepts for Deimos cross the map right away, it's going to be trouble for Apidae. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but anyway. Now we've got +1 on the way for Apidae, so unless they mess up somehow and the Zealots don't get... or managed to cut the Adepts into pieces, this is looking slightly concerning for the Protoss bot. It could always build a cannon. It does have a Cyber Core on the way now, so who knows? Anyway, Apidae sending a probe towards the left-hand side of the map. Is it gonna build something, or maybe it's just scouting out? Apidae does have quite nice vision, having scouted out most of the map, but now this Zealot is running for its life as the two Adepts are hot in pursuit. They do cancel one of the shades. The Adepts are actually going to micro against this Zealot. And man, oh man, Adepts are pretty good at killing Zealots. So we see that one Zealot go down. The two Adepts are now just rolling on in. Probes are in trouble. However, there's a bit too much choice for this one Adept. The second Adept is coming on in now as the Zealot is trying to chase it down. We do have a single Stalker on the way for Apidae, so if it can just buy a little bit of time and not lose too many workers, maybe it'll be fine. But that's quite difficult, seeing as how if Adepts are good at one thing, it's killing workers, particularly probes. And this Zealot, it is going to buy more time, though. The problem is there's now 4 Adepts. Deimos behind this has got a fleet beacon on the way, so potentially going for crazy fast Tempest or something like that. Looks like probes are being pulled against these Adepts. The Stalker is out, but it's not actually helping yet. It does have +1 attack due to the usage of that early forge from Apidae. But Deimos has knocked its opponent down to 5 probes, and the Stalkers and Zealots are having a hard time chasing these Adepts with them shading all over the place. There is 2 probes left, 1 probe left, and things are not looking too good for Apidae. Oh, and the 1 probe is the one scouting probe, so that is not exactly good. The Adepts are doing what they can. They kill off that Zealot. It's just the single Stalker. There is another Stalker and a Zealot being produced, +1 armor being produced. So maybe if these units go God mode, they can win the game. But there's a Tempest on the way for Deimos. And the Adepts are still just shading around. They don't have any more workers to kill, so they're like, huh, what do I do now? But Anyway, yeah, things have been a little bit rough for Apidae. There actually is now being a sentry produced, but that's probably going to be easy pickings for adepts as well. Apidae does finish Warp Gate, so it is a bot that actually utilizes that, which is cool. Unfortunately, in this game, it's not going to reach that point where it actually gets to warp in any units, as it is broke and can't afford to make anything. We do have that first Tempest out for Deimos, just hanging out back at home. However, a second Tempest is moving forward. Are these two boys just going to group up or what? And that's exactly what's going to happen. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, in case you haven't figured it out, this is going to be a multi-part video. I kind of cast a couple matches where Deimos was derping out, so I thought I'd click on a shorter replay or two just to see how dominant Deimos is. And this is how you see that it is one of the top 3 bots on the ladder. Like, it just massacred Apidae, it dealt with the cannon rush successfully, and then it just punished it and killed it with the adepts. This is where this is Deimos' bread and butter. And so we'll just watch it kill these buildings and fast forward. The last stalker goes down, and yeah, then we'll load right on into the next one. Alright, I didn't really plan on this when I clicked on these replays, but it just so happens we're going to be having Deimos take on another Protoss bot, probably either the first or second most well-rounded Protoss bot. There is, for example, Zozo on the ladder, but Zozo's fairly linear. Sharkbot, on the other hand, is quite a mixed bag and can play some beastly macro games. So we're going to see how well it does against Deimos in a PvP, which is just a crazy matchup. I couldn't imagine being a bot author trying to program specific builds or strategies for your bot in a PvP, because it's just like even a regular human PvP, it's chaos. So a bot match is just beyond chaos. Whatever's beyond chaos. Anyway, we have got a probe moving out for Sharkbot, going for a double gas opening, whereas we'll see if Deimos is going for that too. Looks like it will be a double gate, double gas for Deimos most likely. Although it does send a probe down, so maybe it's gonna expand. We'll just have to wait and see. We can wait 10 seconds. And yeah, let's see. Sharkbot has got that main base gas mining, building another pylon there. So no crazy cheese just yet. That really opens up for Protoss once the cyber core is done. Deimos, interestingly, is delaying building that second gas. And oh no, Deimos is glitching out a little bit here as it takes seemingly the wrong gas. What happened there, Deimos? That is so bizarre. I wonder if that's because like it was blocking its own gas or something, so it just defaulted to take the next closest gas. Oh man, Starcraft bots, it is not easy to program these things. But anyway, we'll see if that messes with the build of Deimos too much. It is double adepts opening for Deimos. Sharkbot is quite an advanced Protoss bot though, so maybe it will be able to block or build a wall or something in order to stop Deimos' adept shading into its main base. It seems Deimos wins like half its games off the back of these. Sharkbot is also being a chatterbot. Do you have your chat filter on? Where are you going? How many bases do you have? I think Sharkbot would be a fun bot to play against just because of all the crap it says. Now, we have got a Robo on the way for Sharkbot. Stargate popping up in the main base for Deimos, so there is going to be the potentially lethal oracles or void rays, but it may be bottlenecked by gas. It at least hasn't started saturating or mining from that gas, but the build of Deimos is really messed by this. I'm pretty sure it was because Deimos was trying to block its gas from being stolen, and then it kind of maybe blocked it a little bit too hard or something, is my assumption. We do have a nice battery wall for Sharkbot. It actually pops the battery, which is a little bit overkill. That could have been a Chrono Boost, but that is going to allow its Adept to actually kill the Adept of Deimos without taking any damage. So, no, it's still overkill because just The regular battery could have healed that up. We do have Immortals on the way for Sharkbot as it's locked inside its main base, maybe looking to get aggressive. Deimos, on the other hand, is just struggling for cash in this match. Sharkbot has now got an Adept inside the main base of Deimos, so probes are taking damage. We'll see if there's going to be a reaction to this or not. The Stargate isn't building anything because of the massive gas shortage. And man, oh man, yeah, Deimos is having a really rough match. It finally will decide to build that extra gas, which is a little bit late, but at least it's getting done. There's a Nexus on the way for Deimos. Sharkbot saying, what do you think of romantic relationships with AI? Now that is, that's interesting. I'm not going to get into that one. We've got a Warp Prism on the way for Sharkbot as Deimos continues to try and make its way up this ramp. Sharkbot is attacking its own shield battery just so it can get out. The Prism popping out probably means Deimos is going to be in a bit of trouble, and we'll see if it's able to defend this or not. But it is so gas-starved this match. Like, it hasn't made a single Stargate unit, presumably because it didn't have the gas, so its build just failed. We do have Stalkers being produced in quite a high number for Deimos, at least. It's got a couple of those Adepts out, which can also help buffer. Now that that wall's down too, the Adepts have made it into the main base of Sharkbot. They haven't really killed too many probes or anything like that, but they can potentially keep this Protoss army back, whereas Sharkbot really wants to be attacking at this point in the game. One of those Adepts does complete the Shade. It is going to get killed off fairly quickly, though. Second Adept is going to Shade into the main base. We'll see if that one makes it far, whether it goes down too. And it just goes to show that PvP is such a crazy matchup, because as a bot author, having to program defensive logic against Adepts has got to be quite tricky. Now, Deimos is actually deciding to be the bot that's going to get aggressive. We've got 8 Stalkers, although there's only 6 of them here, against all these Immortals and Stalkers of Sharkbot. So I think it's time that Deimos goes wee all the way home. Instead, it's deciding to build a third base. Now that it is mining off that gas, at least I guess that will increase its gas income a little bit. But yeah, Deimos is floating 800 minerals. So it really needs as much time as possible to get that Nexus up to start mining that gas. And this is definitely not what the bot authors intended. So I'll say this game is probably a little bit of a one-off as well. As far as Deimos, I try and cast a couple standard Deimos matches, and it's just not the case. Maybe this bot is a little more chaotic than we thought. We do have an Immortal on the way for Deimos, which is important when it comes to defending this. That third Nexus is going to be getting pressured by Sharkbot. It's going to be a battle of the micro. That Prism flies way too far forward for Sharkbot, though. Takes quite a bit of damage. It's not really microing the Stalkers either. So we'll see if Deimos can hold on. The Stalkers are doing a good job picking off the enemy Stalkers. The Nexus really was buffering as Sharkbot was mainly shooting that. An Immortal comes forward for Deimos as well. That may be what it needs to win this fight. It's 1 against 3, but there is all the Stalkers of Deimos to support. Their micro is actually pretty on point this match. I mean, they can only micro so much against the Immortals of Sharkbot, though, which is problematic. They are going to give it their all, as lots of units are in the red. Sharkbot is getting pushed back, and it looks like this was a successful hold for Deimos for the most part. If it can get that Prism, that would be huge. Or even another one of those Immortals would be nice. And that's not going to be the case, though. But yeah, Sharkbot is still just on 1 base, so it's really going for the aggression. It's keeping those Immortals alive, which is pretty big. Deimos is, I mean, not really making too much right now, as it takes the third in a different location, which is good to see. And let's see, an Immortal on the front is being pressured, though. This is concerning for Deimos. It's trying to counterattack. Both these bots are being really aggressive this match. The Immortal decides to have a nap in the middle. Stalkers and Immortals are trading. Meanwhile, Sharkbot is getting aggressive, killing off that Vespine Geyser. We'll see if that one gets rebuilt or not, although one actually is getting popped up there. And Immortal's getting chased across the map by Sharkbot. Meanwhile, Deimos is still catching some of the reinforcements. The blue Protoss bot isn't really making as many units as it needs because it is so gas-starved still. It's got 1,600 minerals in the bank. It could make 17 Zealots, and I think that would probably help it out at this point, but it's just not able to do that. The main base is being breached. That pylon is being shot, and Immortal is about to pop out for Deimos. We'll see if it does, and it does. That could be what it needs to defend. Meanwhile, these other units are out on the map for Deimos. It's got quite an army still. Sharkbot's pushing into the into the, just up the ramp. I mean, kind of between the natural and the main base. It's got 4 Immortals out. That is no small amount. The Robo's taking lots of damage for Deimos. Probes are being pulled into the fight, which is important, and it is a bit of a surround. There's no Prism to support these Immortals. It's a very close fight. Well, but in the end, Deimos is able to clean it up and manages to hold on. Sharkbot's aggression falls flat, and that is not good for the red Protoss bot, as it is starting to mine out. Deimos, meanwhile, is on getting up a 4th Nexus because it can afford a 4th Nexus because it's just been banking so many resources due to its gas shortage. We'll see if it gets up another assimilator soon. 2 Immortals are out on the map for Sharkbot. Sharkbot has done pretty well with its Immortals, keeping them alive and whatnot, but I think the production just isn't there at this point in the game. And so while it may be able to buy a bit of time, I'm not too sure whether Sharkbot will be able to hold on. It has yet to even invest in that natural base. It's doing some long distance mining. So definitely different approaches when it comes to programming your Protoss bot. That one other Immortal is going to run for its life, but it gets picked off. I mean, the Prism with these units in isn't able to get too much done. Sharkbot is twirling that Prism around like a top. There's a couple of units trying to hold on for Sharkbot, but I mean, the production is just way too high. Not that Deimos is 100% in unit production as it builds a 5th Nexus, but it's been trading well enough. It was able to defend early on. And I was worried that that gas was going to cost Deimos this game, because I feel like I've been a bit hard on Deimos lately with some of the matches I've cast, when I just really want to reiterate that it is one of the best bots out there. Even though it did have the gas mishap in this match, it still was able to win and played a great match. Its aggression kind of paid off. Both bots were being very aggressive there, but then Deimos was also able to get up an expansion. A disruptor for Sharkbot gets a connection, but there's just not enough here for the red Protoss bot. There's no way it's going to send Deimos home at this point, unless Deimos glitches out and just decides to go all the way home. This disruptor is like, do I, don't I, do I, don't I, do I, don't I. Another gateway is being built by Sharkbot, but I think that is probably going to be it. Pylon's getting unpowered. The one Immortal's trying to be a hero, fighting his Protoss comrades, but it's not going to happen. Yeah, Deimos showing us that it is quite the killer. Getting out those 5 Nexus, still just macroing up very heavily. It's got lots of energy on the main base, which makes me wonder if it could have been chrono boosting more. But anyway, that is going to be it. Ladies and gentlemen, click that like button if you haven't already. If you want to see more of these bot games, go ahead, leave a comment down below. Let me know what your, I don't know, favorite Christmas food is. Something like that. You can comment whatever you want, and it helps with the YouTube algorithm. Thanks so much to everyone that does support the channel. I'll see you guys next time.